All right. Sexual energy is what we are talking about today. I'm going to share some perspectives on sexual energy that maybe you haven't heard, maybe you haven't tried on. We're actually building a deeper relationship with our sexual energy today. I'm not going to red pill. I'm not going to talk about like you have to do this, you got to do this, you got to do that. I'm going to share perspectives that have helped me understand my sexual energy on a deeper level, become more comfortable with it, and from that place be able to lead others in completely embracing who they are and creating a safe space for others to grow as well. Sexual energy is the key to all of this. First, let's get this out there. Sexual energy is life force energy. It creates life. Think about that. The energy that most of the world is so ashamed of and hides from and runs from is the energy that is so powerful it creates life. This is why we must build a meaningful, deep rooted, safe relationship with our sexual energy, where we do not run and suppress, where we do not have our sexual desires control us, have us lose control of who we are and the actions we take. Because you look around, you see the extremely sexually suppressed people. You can tell just by looking at them, by being around their presence, that man, they're just not comfortable with their sexuality in their own skin. They're not comfortable with that energy. Maybe it comes from, the way they were raised. Maybe something happened to them when they were younger. Maybe something's been passed on generationally. Maybe it was they were raised in a certain household with set beliefs about being able to express your sexual urges, your sexual energy. Maybe on the other side, we have the overreactive who allows that sexual charge in their sexual desires to lead their life, where they are out of control animals, where you are not safe around them, where they are the ones inflicting and causing pain on others. Maybe that was passed on to them. Maybe something happened to them. What both sides here, you have to understand. You could be either side, you could be in the middle, you could be less extreme. But first, I want to say this. We must forgive and accept and see all for who they are. I don't know why I felt called to say that, but there's a lot of shame around sexuality. There's so much pressure and judgment around these things and how it's expressed in each individual. I'm not here to talk about how you should operate if you're a man, and you should we're not gonna, as far as gender, things like that, we're not gonna dive into all that. But there's a lot of shame and judgment in this space. It's a very unsafe, uneasy space that no one really talks about. We talk about a lot of things growing up. We talk about this, we talk about that. We go to school, we learn this, we learn English, we learn science, all of the things that don't matter in life, we learn in school. That's a whole nother conversation. But we don't talk about our sexual energy. They toss a condom on a banana and say, use this, don't do it anyways. You're going through puberty, you begin to experience these things, and you're like, whoa. If you're a guy and you're into that stuff, you're like, boobies, whoa. Let's just be real. Like, your body goes through things. you become aware and things become extremely attractive, and you have actually this urge and energy behind it now, and you're not taught how to build a relationship with that, to express that and cultivate it fully. This is such a loaded conversation. I don't know where this video is going to go because my mind goes to so many places. We're going to let God take the wheel on this one. I'm going to step out of the way, and we're just going to let God, whatever needs to come out, come out. Look, little look into where I'm at right now. I honestly don't know how long. Probably, I would say coming up on 5, maybe even long, maybe 5, let's say 5 months I've been doing semen retention. In that time, TMI for you, my friend, your boy's had 2 wet dreams in that time. Other than that, I have not released. And this has been a powerful 5 months, to say the least. I'm going to talk about those wet dreams. Not how many YouTube channels do you tune into? How many people do you talk to on social media that are just talking about their wet dreams? Look, I'm going to bring this up because there's an underlining meaning behind it, and it was a powerful moment for me that helps me understand my sexual energy on a deeper level. The most recent one, this one's a little out there. If you're not ready to hear this, this might take you back a little bit. There was an incident in my dream where this lady got her lower half blown off by fireworks. And wild, man, I can't believe I'm saying this, wild story, but I'm gonna share it because it's a crazy story. This lady gets this is in my dream. This lady gets her legs blown off, like mid-thigh down, blown off by fireworks. She dies. I end up leaving out a few of the I end up running up to her, and energetically I pick up where she's at. I can sense clearly, besides just looking at her, that she's dead, but I could also see she was having a flashback of every single moment in her life, just like that. And I got to stand next to her, or kneel next to her, and see that flash before her eyes. And within that same instance, as she slowly went through that flashback, slow but quick, time, illusion, all that good stuff, she came back slowly. I could feel her consciousness coming back. I could feel her coming back into her body, and her body almost resetting, recharging, rebooting. Life was back. It wasn't time for her to leave yet, and she ended up slowly coming back into her body. And we had this connection that was beyond physical. And this is the thing most people don't understand about sexual energy, is they get caught in the basic baseline of sexual energy and desire, that they don't get to experience everything that comes with it. They're so blocked off here, and they haven't accepted, surrendered, become comfortable, showcase discipline, and build trust with their sexual energy. They're in this box that they don't understand that sexual energy is the most healing, charging, creative energy there is. We are prime examples of it. So we had this it's not even like it's about me or that person, our energy. It's just oneness. It's God inside both of us. We had this divine connection that was sexually charged, but it was so much greater than just physical attraction. It was that energy that brought her back to life. And I got to experience this in my dream. And I could see and feel her like energy body, her light body. And that's the level we were in intertwined in, connected with. It was beyond physical. And from that place, we slowly begin to, I guess you could say, I don't know, for lack of better terms, cuddle, whatever you want to call it. Like get extremely close to each other physically, and together we brought this life force energy together, and it was activated within both of us, and her body began to heal. By being in such that divine connected charged place, her body began to heal, and her legs came back, and her body from toes up all the way through, everything completely recharged, recreated. And the driving force behind that was sexual energy. It goes to that depth. If you're listening at this point, amazing, because you need to slowly begin to open your mind up to how powerful that energy within you truly is and what you can do with it. Why do I share that story? Not to talk about my wet dream and put that out to the world, because it's truly the last thing I want to do, but to showcase how powerful it actually is, to open up your mind a little bit to what brought you here. And what does that mean? Okay, let's say you actually, from hearing that story, and not even hearing that story, but you found this video because it's that time in your life where this video finds you, where you've always had this feeling, or maybe that feeling recently has been growing within you, that something's really going on here. This sexual energy in me is something so much greater than the way I've treated it throughout my life. I need to rebuild this relationship with my sexual energy. What does that mean moving forward? Okay. This story is a prime example of sexual energy going beyond the physical. Let's start there, actually. Let's start at what keeps people here and they don't get to experience the limitless power of that sexual energy in charge. Man. I want to say this. Man to man right now, especially, this is for the guys especially, but ladies, this goes for you within your own avenue. The relationship you have with your sexual desires is the foundation for everything in your life. I'm just going to be frank with you. Where you're at within that dictates everything else. Everything else. And I've seen it within my life, and I see it around every dude I interact with. Every guy I've ever had a friendship with and had a relationship with, like, I instantly can tell how they operate as a man based off of that. It's so clear. And There's a reason women don't feel safe around you to that level. Like, let's be real here. Look at we're putting we're putting your sexual relationship out here to look at. We're putting it outside of yourself so you can clearly look at it. What do you do when desire comes up, and that desire to instantly act on it, that completely takes over your mind, completely takes over your body, completely loses yourself? What do you do with porn? How do you abuse sex? Like, look at all these things. Social media usage, just looking for that quick hit. Even when I was younger, I found myself picking movies. Dude, I would watch a whole movie, an hour and a half of my life, just because there was like an attractive girl in it. And I was like, it's not like watching porn, but it's like there's an attractive girl, so you just kind of watch it solely because of that. Like, that's what happens with dudes, but in a real, like, in-person interaction skill. Like, you get so caught up in your sexual desires that you completely lose sight of who that soul truly is and how they operate. You know how many guys I see in a relationship that doesn't feel who am I to judge? But from my outside perspective and just energetically, what I pick up on is it is not aligned. But they need that sexual reassurance. They need that. They need that. They need something. You know how many like guys you see who don't even want to build a lasting, meaningful relationship with that girl, but they ain't got that on their mind, and they don't care. That was me. I get it. Like, I'm talking to you as a friend here. You need to build a relationship with it, and it starts within yourself. It starts behind closed doors when no one's looking. Clearly, like, when you're in your room by yourself, what are you doing? How are you operating? Like, how are you even scrolling through social media? It starts there. Like, are you just lustfully scrolling, like getting quick hits, like checking out all these girls, and then it's leading to you watching porn, and then you just release your sexual energy. You just all over yourself. You watch another man get it on with another girl, and you're just like all over yourself. No, a little unhinged way to talk about it, but I mean, how else are we gonna have this conversation? It's like the conversation your mom and dad should have had with you a long time ago, but no one's ever been comfortable enough to do it. So now I'm here and I have to post this on YouTube. What are you doing behind closed doors? Okay, you need to clearly quit the porn. You need to quit all that. But that's not what I want to focus on in today's video, is how to do that. I have other videos where I talk about that. Go look for them, go find them, put in some effort. What's on my mind today is holding space for a woman, holding space for growth. You cannot fake that energy. You cannot fake the relationship you have with your sexuality. Women feel it and pick up on it instantly without them even being consciously aware of it. It's the frequency you project off when you're in their presence. It's so clear, and it tells the real story. So if you want, for me, I'm gonna talk about me, because if you're listening to this, you probably have similar aspirations, similar goals to me. You're trying to operate at the highest version of yourself. You're trying to be a light for God's love. For me, I want to live my life of service. I want to show up and embody God's love, presence, energy to the best of my abilities, moment by moment, whatever that means, whatever kind of sacrifices that means. In order for me to bring that energy forward into the world and be able to hold space for others where they can grow and they can evolve and they can go back to those places that felt unsafe and they've never been able to face in their life. Trauma, sexual abuse, things like that. They feel safe to go there because deep down, without them even being aware, they unconsciously pick up on where I'm at within that space within my life. If I was just completely running wild like an animal, and I viewed women as just physical bodies that I just wanted to release with, I wouldn't be able to connect beyond that. I would be in this box like I've been talking about, and I wouldn't get to see and experience all of this. It's a must in this journey. If you are trying to walk your path in alignment with your higher self, with God, with Jesus, you must not run. You must not hide from your sexuality. You must not frame it as a negative, as a bad thing. But man, give it its flowers. Give it the respect and love it deserves. It's not something to be shameful of. Quite opposite. What you're saying by being shameful of your life force energy, of your sexual energy, is you are shameful of yourself, because that is the energy that created your life, that created you, that created me, that created your mom, your dad, your siblings, your friends, like created every human being, everyone. It's that creative force behind it all. And a big thing, I'll be honest with you, that made this extremely clear to me is psilocybin. There's been psilocybin ceremonies, pretty much all of them, tied deeply into that energy. I've had moments in a psilocybin ceremony multiple times where all at once, boom, all of the girls I've ever been intimate with to that level, I feel all of their energies. I feel everything about them all at once. That's why you must protect this, because it's not just this, it's this. It's all of this. You pick up all of it, and it is part of you for the rest of your experience. I get it. I'll be honest, if you got to do what you got to do, because that's what I had to do. I had to learn from my own mistakes to realize I probably shouldn't operate like that within relationships. I probably shouldn't operate like that with my sexual charge. I shouldn't just give that away to anyone. And you know what happened? You know what truly rooted that change wasn't shame. It wasn't beating myself into the ground about the hookups I've had or the sexual partners I've had. It wasn't shame around that. It wasn't at all. It was the opposite. It was building a relationship with it, beginning to cultivate all of this, playing around with it, getting more comfortable with it. And from that place, I saw and I experienced the power it held. And from there, I began to respect it and treat it with love, not shame that most of us are tied onto within that sexual energy. Is shame, 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 shame you, shame you, shame you. You must do this, you must do that. No, no, no. Get comfortable with it. Like, get comfortable with it and begin to see how powerful it is. And that's the only thing that allowed me to quit porn, that allowed me to quit having hookups, that allowed me to truly embody that sexual energy and use it to create for other things in my life, to show up in a healthy, safe, loving way for women beyond just physical attraction. You don't have to beat yourself into the ground over it. If you were trying to build a loving relationship with your romantic partner, what do you think would help them with their relationship with their sexuality? If there was problems in the bedroom and your partner was caught up here in their head in shame and wasn't comfortable and just wasn't allowing themselves to express that, what do you think would help them build a relationship with that? Would it be continuing to shame that and operate out of fear and separate, like would be putting them in a box and judging them constantly and shaming them and beating them to the ground for feeling that way and having a relationship with it like that? Would that be the answer to make it better? Or would creating a space within yourself first that reflects, oh, it is safe. It's safe to play with this. It's safe to experience it and allow it to flow through me. It's almost surrender to it. I'm safe within that energy. I am one with that energy. So you have to give that to yourself. You can't just wish to give that to your partner and have amazing life-shattering sex where you're like this, where it's beyond where it's orgasms forever. And at some point you just got to stop because it's just like time to stop. It doesn't come from the shame. Sex is not the problem. Your sexual energy is not the problem. These are some of the greatest gifts God gave us. They're not the problem. It's like anything else in life. It's not the problem. It's your relationship with it. So what I'm asking you today is to no longer run from it, to no longer have it run your life, but step into it, to sit with it, spend time in silence with it, not even moving, not even touching, but just feeling. Maybe it is touching. Maybe you do need to pleasure yourself and actually get comfortable. There was a season in my life, and randomly at times, whenever God makes it clear that it's my time to play with that energy and use it to manifest and create and cultivate and charge through the rest of my body and the rest of my life. Because I'm not just trying to run from it. I haven't framed sexuality as this bad thing. So as I was getting out of watching porn, just like any other guy, you know deep down you should quit, you just don't do it. I was pretty deep into, I was diving deeper and deeper into my spirituality. I've had some pretty profound experiences at that point. And I started playing around. Like I would put some nice frequency, some nice sounds on in the background. I would set the mood. Like I was going to get it on with another partner. I would seduce myself, quite frankly. I would take myself through the whole shindig, the whole experience, to get comfortable with it. I would stand butt ass naked in front of the mirror, hands on the hips, classic move. You know this move. Classic move. And I would just look, and I would touch, and I would breathe. And it might sound crazy, some dude on YouTube talking to you about this, but this helped me a lot. And look, I'll be honest, I got stuff from the past too that carried over through my teens as I got into my 20s. Like these are all the little things that helped me. The perspectives, the tools, the practices, more so just the energy and bringing forward to you around this topic. I hope that resonates and sinks in. Get comfortable with it. Begin to play with it. Understand it's not a bad thing. Cut out the porn. That just sounds on in the background, just me and my body in complete flow, just going with it, pleasuring yourself. Get comfortable with it. You can even release. I would release at the end of that. Now I'm at a point where this season of my life, like I said, it's been 5 months. I haven't released. There's been a few times within that where I've taken myself through an experience like that, where yoga typically flows into something more sexually charged like that, where I get to cultivate and harness and activate all that sexual energy. It feels amazing. But then it's not even a physical. It's not a physical act. It's not I'm just sitting there thinking of boobs or something. No, your body's on fire. You're having energetic orgasms over and over and over and over again. And that's what you could experience. That's what your sex life could look like. That's what it could look like for your partner too, not even just you. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want to be so comfortable within that energy that you can use it to create the reality beyond just physical stuff, beyond just sex? But you can use that creative life force energy and put it into wealth, service, any areas you want to be truly abundant in, any areas you want to grow in, physical body. When I'm in the gym, you best believe I'm harnessing all of my sexual energy, every single rep, to put myself in that primal state to be at my best. Absolutely. You got to use it. It's the ultimate tool. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It is the creative energy for everything. At the root of it all. Think about it. At the foundational level of it all, of us being created, there it is. And we're ashamed of it. So get comfortable with it. Ah, man. This will truly change your life. And I understand it's not easy and it takes time, just like any other relationship takes time to build to that level with that solid of a foundation. But amazing things will happen within yourself. And back to what I was talking about, holding space for other people, even beyond a sexual act. When you're holding space for someone and your sexual desires aren't leading that interaction, they can feel within you that you're not just looking at them as a physical body, physical object, that you can face everything you feel. You can feel it all. You may even feel extremely sexually charged towards them, but yet you have the discipline, you have the control to understand when is the right time to use that and connect with someone to that level. It's not that you ignore that you feel those things, but when it comes up, you can completely embrace it, face it, feel it all, and stand there strong and say, yeah, that's how I feel. And it doesn't have to lead to action. It doesn't have to lead to you connecting with another person to that level. And when you build that discipline, that sexual discipline, the noise goes out the window. You think about this. You know how many people go out in public and they're just worried about, what does this girl think? What does this guy think? Depending like what sex you are, whatever you're into. It's so much time and energy is wasted on that. Like, And then, because they're so caught up in that firework of desire, they get any hit of physical approval, sexual arousal, and they just lose it. They can't control themselves but play into it. I get it. That was me. Like it was what's more ego validating and makes you feel better about yourself than someone willing and being extremely excited even to share that with you. It's the ultimate nod of approval, quite frankly. And yeah, it's the ultimate ego hit. So as you dive into, this sexual energy and you begin to build a relationship with it, you will see that it is tied to every area of your life, to every part of your shadow. And as you grow a relationship with the sexual energy, it will pull you into all those different areas. All of them. And as you, clean and face things all around here and here, that light will begin to shine brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. You will set yourself free. With that being said, I'm going to leave you with this simple understanding that sexual energy is your friend, is the reason you are here. It is life force energy. It is your creative force. If you continue to run from that area of your life, you will never reach your full potential. And that is the raw reality of it. This is one of the most important relationships you can build within yourself, within your life, to make your dreams a reality, to show up in alignment with God, to live a life of service. This is a staple. This is a must. This can't be skipped. The longer you push it off, only the stronger it's going to come back and slap you in the face. Deal with it head on. Clean it up. Build a real loving relationship with it. Understand you don't have to be shameful of how you feel. Let go of the attachment to everything around it and allow it to just be. And you'll be able to sink into it to a deeper level and be comfortable with all of that energy. And once you sink into it more and more and you begin to get more and more comfortable with it, more of it can be expressed freely. You will begin to experience out of this world type of things that to most sounds crazy, but then you begin to experience it and you can't believe it. So, as always, choose love. Choose love, choose love, choose love, choose love, choose love. Thank you for listening. Tap into it. Tap into it. Here we go.